evening. The search for the 27-year-old university student, Shalene Evans, who went missing in the gated community of Orchard in Hopewell, Hanover, on Christmas morning is now over after 5 days of anxious searching. This with the assistance of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, and the Jamaica Defense Force, JDF, and her family and community members. She was found on a road leading to the beach close to the Hopewell High School. Shalene's father, Kitson Evans, who spoke with our news team while en route to the hospital where she was taken, thanked the security forces and the community members for their assistance.
Well, I'm feeling great, sir. I'm overwhelmed with joy right now. Okay, she found, if you heard of Hopewell High School, right? Below this high school on the beach. The road you turn, go up to Hopewell High School. Instead of turning right, you turn left. Go down on the beach. That's where she was found. To be frank, I'm right now at the hospital. I don't know what's happening, but everybody's supposed to feel good. Everybody, I'm saying thank you for everything. Thank you for everything that you have done. The police, the soldiers, the community people. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody.
In other news tonight, a would-be robber is now dead following an attempted robbery at a bank in Sam Sharp Square, Montego Bay earlier today. Reports are that a man dressed in a red t-shirt and blue jeans shorts entered the bank at approximately 8:40 a.m., jumped across the counter and held a knife to a female cashier's neck. He demanded money but was confronted by security guards inside the bank and other security guards who rushed onto the scene. After a standoff that lasted for several minutes between the knife-wielding robber who attempted to leave the building and the security guards, the man was shot. The police were summoned to the location and the injured robber rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The would-be robber remains unidentified as investigations continue. Further reports coming into our news center regarding this incident are that no one else was hurt in the scuffle, and a heavy police and military presence could be seen at the bank for most of the day. We will bring you more on this story in subsequent newscasts. In other news, there continues to be tension in the Grandstand area of St. Andrew. This with news that the young man shot by police in the area last night has died. Here is Colleen May with the details.
Residents of Grandstand in St. Andrew this morning set fire to debris and used it to block a road to protest the shooting death of a man by police in the community yesterday. Music producer 29-year-old Mabrika Watson, also known as Tadmar, who reportedly worked with artist Jashi on the song Cream of the Crop, was killed in an alleged confrontation with police last night. The incident reportedly happened about 8 o'clock. A firearm was also seized, according to the police. Senior Superintendent Aaron Fletcher, who is in charge of the St. Andrew North Police Division, in speaking with the media, explained that Watson is a known murderer who had shot and killed a man on Sunday.
So here today we have a situation where there's some social unrest in the Grandstand community emanating from the community of cruiser bands, where yesterday the police had a confrontation with a known criminal, a man called Tadmar, who we have evidence shot and killed a man on Sunday whilst he was performing some construction work in the community, and fired shots at another man also. We have eyewitness statements to that incident. Now, the police, having gotten information that the man had returned to his place of abode, went and was confronted, shot at, and fatally so. And this is what is transparent today. A show of support for criminality and lawlessness. Evidence of the magnitude of social decay that has taken place in our society, which will not be supported or tolerated by the police. And so, the persons that have brought about this kind of response, this kind of activity, they will be made to pay. They will be prosecuted at every instance, and they will not be given any leverage at all. They will be made to conform, comply, stay in line at all times going forward. We will not tolerate support for criminality, nor will we tolerate acts of criminality. within this space without taking action. The investigation has pretty much been concluded. The file is complete. All that is left now is for the deceased to be formally identified.
However, residents have disputed claims that there was a shootout and are alleging that Watson was killed in cold blood. Watson's girlfriend, who was at the house when Watson allegedly got shot, spoke with our news team and explained what she said had transpired.
They in the house after we eat with dinner. Lay down me, my daughter lay down watch cartoon. My grandfather they run in the kitchen and cook. My daughter they start ball say her belly hurt her, so we go in the kitchen again. Make a cup of tea. I'm tell her say it hot, so put it down for cool. By the time we lay down again, we hear a sound in the kitchen, something drop. So to his attention, him get up because to him grandfather they in the kitchen and cook. Him say I go check if everything alright. By the time him open the door, push up my door and step outside. Don't think I could hear him ball out, that's it. Him not get to leave like a good perimeter from the door nor nothing. As him step through him room door right here, so them start open fire upon him. Then I'm not sure as to how much police they come. More than somebody come the side here in the yard and they pan gunman in the yard, gunman in the yard. Nobody never did in the yard. It was just me, him, my daughter and him grandfather. Because even some clothes him that hang out, I stop him and say no, make them stay till the morning and hang them out. Police they never did know so we in here, so me and my daughter in here. It's after a while the police is like my daughter scream out because me accidentally squeeze her foot because we have to hide between the bed and the wall here. So
she also explained that he was not a gunman and that he was an innocent man shot by the police.
Don't think my daughter shout out, no kill me, please, me know I'm dead.
How old is your daughter?
She's 7.
Did they say anything to you?
They only ask me who me is to him, and if I feel him daughter, which I tell them who me is, I'm tell them say no, it's not his child. And the only thing they said to me was for comfort my child, I'm not supposed to move. So I said, I'll come out of the house and go me because I don't understand what happened. I look on a lifeless body right there, so him face down on the ground. Them have to say, oh, him a gunman, but him not a gunman, him not have no gun or nothing.
Who have you said that?
That them put out in the media, say them find gun pan him and them something there. They never find no gun pan him, him not have no gun down here. Me no know of him as no gunman, not a bad man, a music him do. So them kill him cold-blooded right there, so them not ask no question or nothing. It's an innocent youth them kill. I wanna like to know the reason why they kill him too. He's a fun person, even though him can have up and down, but him caring, him not show nothing but love to people. No matter how people might be hard on him sometime. But he not show nothing but love and care for people. But he definitely not deserve that.
Speaking with a resident during this morning's demonstration, she explained that the police killed Watson in cold blood and they need justice.
Officer Kirk Davis go down a Coosa bank, going to the youth house, go kill him. Cold-blooded murder in front of him grandfather, him a cook for him grandfather, stove on everything, about 8, 9 o'clock last night. You understand? And we want justice. Him have to leave. Kirk Davis been antagonizing the people of Grand Spend community since him been here, and we need him to leave, right? We don't want him no more. Him not serve no justice, him not serve and protect nothing, and him not do more than antagonize we. And we need him to leave. Leave like now. Right now, we want justice at Tadmar.
We will bring you more on this story in subsequent newscast. Reporting from Mello TV News, I am Colleen May.
Thank you, Colleen, for that report. We go now to news from Westmoreland, where a vendor was fatally shot after gunmen invaded his home in Savannah Lamar yesterday morning. Deceased is 58-year-old Michael Wright of Darling Street in the parish. Reports coming into our news center are that Wright was at home at approximately 4:30 a.m. when gunmen entered and opened gunfire, hitting him several times. Residents who heard the explosions alerted the police. Upon their arrival, Wright was found in bed, suffering from bullet wounds. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing. We go now to tonight's COVID-19 update, where the country's positivity rate now stands at 17.9%, with 276 new cases reported and 5 additional COVID-19 deaths, increasing the case total to 93,226 and increasing the country's fatalities from the virus to 2,469. The deceased are comprised of 3 men and 2 women, all from Trelawney, while another fatality is under investigation. Now, of the new cases, 142 are women and 134 are men, ranging in age from 22 days to 92 years. In tonight's COVID-19 parish breakdown, Kingston and St. Andrew recorded 86 cases, St. James recorded 74 cases, St. Anne 39 cases, Hanover 18, Trelawney 16, St. Catherine recorded 10 cases, St. Mary 9 cases, Westmoreland recorded 8 cases, Manchester 5, Clarendon 4, St. Elizabeth recorded 3 cases, while Portland and St. Thomas recorded 2 cases each. In the meantime, there were 110 additional recoveries, increasing the total of recovered persons now to 65,442. Continuing with the news tonight, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has stressed that the clinical concerns of a shortened isolation release cannot be dismissed, as a 5-day release could contribute to the spread of the coronavirus in the Jamaican population. The minister was speaking against the background of local health authorities examining the most recent recommendation by the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. Now, they have recommended that isolation periods for people in the population who test positive for the novel coronavirus be halved. But Dr. Tufton cautioned that any such consideration here would require an extensive holistic approach. The minister is quoted as saying that the airlines would have to agree to accept departing passengers who have had a positive test and have only served 5 days in quarantine. On Monday, the CDC said based on the current science on the spread of the Omicron variant of the virus and duration of the period when persons are most infectious, it was shortening the recommended time for isolation from 10 days for persons with COVID-19 to 5 days if asymptomatic, followed by 5 days of wearing a mask around others. In the meantime, Director General of the World Health Organization, WHO, Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, is warning that the new Omicron variant, coupled with the Delta variant of the COVID-19, is causing a tsunami of cases across the world. Here is Colleen May with more on this story.
Head of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, says a tsunami of COVID-19 cases driven by the Omicron variant would pressure hospital systems already on the brink of collapse.
This virus will continue to evolve and threaten our health system if we don't improve the collective response. Right now, Delta and Omicron are twin threats that are driving up cases to record numbers, which again is leading to spikes in hospitalizations and deaths. I'm highly concerned that Omicron, being more transmissible, circulating at the same time as Delta, is leading to a tsunami of cases. This is and will continue to put immense pressure on exhausted health workers and health systems on the brink of collapse, and again distributing lives and livelihoods. The pressure on health systems is not only because of new COVID-19 patients requiring hospitalization, but also a large number of health workers are getting sick themselves. The unvaccinated are many times more at risk of dying from either variant. Omicron is moving so quickly. In addition to vaccination, public health social measures are also needed to stem the wave of infection, protect health workers and systems, open up societies and keep children in school.
Dr. Ghebreyesus, during WHO's media briefing on COVID-19 earlier today, explained that politics used by some countries undermine equity and created ideal conditions for the emergence of new variants of the virus.
While science delivered, politics too often triumphed over solidarity. While there were 1.8 million recorded deaths in 2020, there were 3.5 million in 2021, and we know the actual number is much higher. This is not to mention to the millions of people dealing with the long-term consequences from the virus. Populism, narrow nationalism, and hoarding of health tools, including masks, therapeutics, diagnostics, and vaccines, by a small number of countries undermined equity and created the ideal conditions for the emergence of new variants. Misinformation and disinformation, often spread by a small number of people, have been a constant distraction, undermining science and trust in life-saving health tools.
He further said that he remained hopeful that 2022 is the year to end the COVID-19 virus and welcome innovative solutions to help in the fight against the virus as they increase the vaccination.
In the huge waves of cases currently seen in Europe and in many countries around the world, misinformation, which has driven vaccine hesitancy, is now translating to the unvaccinated disproportionately dying. It's vitally important that the established scientific advisory group for the origins of novel pathogens can develop a pathway for the scientific search of pathogens, including for the origins of SARS-CoV-2. And we hope to see progress quickly in the new year. But I still remain optimistic that this can be the year we can not only end the acute stage of the pandemic, but we also chart a path to stronger health security. Building on the successes and failures, we must not only share vaccines faster and more equitably with COVAX and AVAT, we must support countries in manufacturing and rolling them out to everyone. And access to new treatments must also follow. I welcome innovative solutions to reaching vulnerable communities that have not received vaccination yet, because the primary doses are the most important for people to develop immunity.
Reporting for Mello TV News, I'm Colleen May.
Thank you, Colleen, for that report. Still making Mello TV News tonight, the Electoral Office of Jamaica, EOJ, is reminding the public that current voter ID cards will no longer be valid after December 31, 2021. Effective January 1, 2022, only the new voter identification card bearing the Electoral Commission of Jamaica logo will be valid. Electors who do not receive their new voter ID card by December 31, 2021 may request a temporary letter of identity to be used as a provisional identification document in the interim. Now, this document may be requested from the EOJ's head office at 43 Duke Street, Kingston, or from the EOJ constituency office where the elector is registered. The EOJ has so far printed 850,000 new voter ID cards. Electors are being urged to collect their new card at the specified pickup location. The renewal process will continue into 2022, and electors should renew in order to have a valid voter ID card. For further information, electors may contact the EOJ at 876-922-0425-9, toll free at 888-991-VOTE. That's 888-991-8683, or email eojinfo@eoj.com.jm. Still making the news tonight, the Newlands community in Portmore, St. Catherine has become the first in the area to get free Wi-Fi under the Universal Service Fund USF initiative to increase internet service in various communities. At the launch, Member of Parliament for St. Catherine East Central, Alando Terrelong, welcomed the $7 million facility as a great tool to further the development of the community, especially education and business. Principal of the Newlands Basic School, Angela Dawes, said some children in the area are from homes without internet, and students from the early childhood to tertiary level will benefit from the service. And that's our news package for you tonight. Thank you for tuning in to Mello TV Evening News at 8. I am Shelley Ann Hill. Do stay safe and pleasant viewing.